I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave. I'm going to follow up with him.
It doesn't
He cannot
end
come
well.
in.
Hold on, Janaba. Relax, because these things I see. I think someone in Nigeria is about to give us a live report, and you guys are talking about CM. You know, you don't have to. This is the point I'm trying to make.
He coming down.
Maz, okay, are you there? I just want to mention that there's nothing anybody says that will touch. It's just their opinion. I hope we can get to that point. So let's join Maz. Okay, Janaba, stand by. I'll come to you later. Yeah, unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself. I can't unmute you.
Are you bringing me back in?
Yeah, you are in.
Aziz, okay, welcome. Okay. Thank you for showing us what's happening.
Yeah. Thank you, guys, everyone. So you can hear from the background, right? You can hear from the background. These guys are now counting. You can see the vote. This is Enugu. The counting is now ongoing. Had we experienced something like this when we had the presidential election, I believe no one will be, up in arms, saying that something irregular was done. You can see that if INEC wants to conduct election, they can actually do the right thing. But obviously, we are far from what happened the other time. Today, election was conducted the way it ought to. You can see how peaceful everyone here is. Now, let me tell you something that occurred before now. I met a man here who, on the day of the presidential election, lost her daughter. I did a live stream and I spoke to him. I believe, I don't know if he's still around, if I can call him up here. I think he's left. But there is something very instructive. He says he's from Katsina State and he has lived in Enugu for so long. I asked him if anyone ever disturbed him when he wants to cast his vote. May the soul of her daughter that died on a day before the presidential election rest in peace. And he said, no, he has never been disturbed. Now, just oppose that to what is happening in Lagos as we speak. Sometimes words fail me to really think that Nigerians would stop fellow Nigerians from voting and there is no total outrage. Let me show us now what is happening here. How happily the people are counting their vote. And this is what you should be expecting everywhere. Look, this is live. And you can see here, people are having fun. Stay on it. People are having fun. And that's how. Look. Okay, so guys, you've seen it now.
Okay. This is the best thing I've seen today. Thank you very much.
Sorry,
my brother.
Okay. So what I'm trying to tell us here is we can see how peaceful the people have come out and they are voting. They are having fun. We wish that Nigerians all over the world could actually vote in this manner. Have fun. Election is not war. Nobody needs to die. Nobody needs to be hurt.
All right. I think his line is frozen. We'll reconnect back with him.
Please try and get him back, or Dr. Damages, try and get him back, please.
Yeah, we will. We will. Anyway, so you can understand why.
You know, if you
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. So so two things. One is, this is the reason why most of the time. Okay, Maz is okay. We can hear you, Maz is okay. You can yeah, you can hear you. Unmute yourself. Oh, all right. Still having difficulties. Anyway, so I give preference to people in Nigeria who are on the ground, because they tend to show us something that we may not see while we are outside of the country. But anyway, we can continue our conversation. Janaba, you can respond to.
All right.
Yeah.
What I said earlier, I give an analogy about the Benue politics and the national politics before the attack of CM. CM, you are in UK raising money for Soludo to say let's raise money to fix Anambra. Anambra is one of the richest states in the East. It is honestly the people like you who play a fitty politics that you tribalize everything. What Hausa man is suffering is the same thing Igbo man is suffering, is the same thing Yoruba man is suffering. All Nigerians, we are all in one boat. It's people who have a greedy mindset, whether it has to be their way or no way at all. They are the one that form this talking point to distract people and to make us feel that we are divided either by ethnicity or by religious line. In a country or when reasonable people gathered, what they want to do first is to make sure humanity comes first. Nancy gave an example of a Castina man. Of course, if you are from Castina, it must be Hausa or whatever. Uh, People like you guys that have created a war that come to bite you because you think politics is on the media, that you think you can divide Hausa from Hausa Fulani by talking points that you created smartly, and that will favor your candidate. It fall on your face because Nigeria is bigger than all of us when we all believe that it's an institution. But when you come up to tell me that it's rubbish, when I prove to you that if we are united in one purpose, not for selfish reason or not for tribal reason, then we can have a good result and we can retire the old people out of politics because they know the force of unity. You conquer the gate of your enemy. But when you come out here and tell me what I said is rubbish because it doesn't sit right with you, it tells who you are. You are you are a good man in my own opinion. I'm not going to come after you because I'm a big boy. I have a big heart, and I'm trying to learn. Before I was boiling, but why am I going to respond for my brother? Sometimes internet will not even connect to hear me. So I'm not going to take it on you. God bless you, brother.
All right. Thank you, Janaba. Let's welcome Kene. This is a new Kene. Kene, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Damages, Dr. Rudolph Okonkwo. Yeah, I think I've been listening to your show, a long time, and it's been great contribution from Honor Politics, Franklin, even the other Kenya as well. It's been an interesting conversation, even before the election and since the election happened. Yeah, I think my own is that, I think Nigeria, we seem to be putting sentiments to things. Yeah. The key thing is that we should, say things the way they are. What is happening like in Lagos or other part of the country, that is not the way to run politics, yeah? I'm currently here in Canada. I volunteered, to do an election here in Ontario, Toronto. I went to the polling booths. When I went there, I was telling my wife that, this experience that I experienced, everybody just come in, you do your voting, put it into the voting machine, it's counted. We know the technology is not yet there in Nigeria, but the technology that we have, we shouldn't be talking of voter intimidation, talking of Yoruba, talking of Hausa and so. I'm from Anambra, but my mom is from Ondo State. I grew up in Ondo State. school in Ekiti, worked in Lagos for maybe over close to 5 years, worked in Abuja before I came here, yeah? So I'm kind of an example of Nigerians that say, okay, I speak Yoruba more than the Yoruba people. Even the dialect in Akoko, I speak it very fluently to my mom. That is even what I speak to my mom when she's currently here in Canada, yeah? So, we should, call a spade a spade. What is happening in Lagos is wrong. And, it shouldn't be about tribal or anything. That is quite wrong. I grew up in Ondo State. Even while at Ondo State, I was, at the university, I applied for their scholarship because I believe my mom is from there. I went to the local government and said, I have to get this, like, what do they call it? Like a nation from the local government to say I'm from Ondo State. Because that is what the Constitution says. If the Constitution says if one of your parents is from one state, you have the right to claim that state. I claim Ondo State. I went to when I got the bus, they were waiting for me to say, where is this person with Ude's name coming to come and claim bursary? When I went there, I spoke Yoruba to them. I said, my mom is from Ondo State. I have every right to claim that bursary. And that is where it should be in Nigeria, yeah? So let's call a spade a spade. Somebody should not just come out there in Lagos and be telling that one tribe should not vote. And everybody seems to be keeping quiet and say, Nigeria is improving. What is improving there? I guess that is my contribution. Thanks.
All right. Can I thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Which way Nigeria?
Hello, everybody.
My brother, you don't change your name.
I am not cool today. In fact, I wanted to put hot.
I didn't even want to guess that might be him.
Yeah, I expect to see which way Biafra, not Nigeria.
Which way Nigeria? Anybody wants to
Jude,
Nigeria. My brother.
We know where we go. Leave us alone, Jude.
My brother.
We know exactly. We know where we go.
Jude.
I don't know where you are going.
Jude, we need to give you a wife so you can relax.
What is happening today has further affirmed that Nigeria is going nowhere. Okay, it's just anyway, it's going somewhere, and I think it's heading to its complete doom. Because this is not where a country that is going somewhere, the direction is going now, that is not a country that is going somewhere should be heading to. I weep for this country. I cry for this country. I cry in the sense that, you see, the saying that why evil men thrive and prosper is because of the so-called good ones that will stand aside and do nothing. And sometimes will even be discouraging those that are trying to do something to correct the situation. They will stand aside and be laughing and be glaring and feel unconcerned, unperturbed. Look at what is happening in the election in Lagos. All over Lagos, I've been watching videos, several clips of videos of people, non-indigenous, being disenfranchised, being beaten, cars being damaged, people being wounded, ballot boxes being burned by Tinubu and Shango Olu's thug, by APC thug. The same thing they have said that they are going to make sure that Igbo people and minorities does not vote in this election. They are carrying that out actively right now as I speak. I have watched more than 10 videos. Okay, more than 10 videos. They are just flowing everywhere. And I don't know if, I'm sure most of you would have seen some of them. Is that a way? Is it the kind of direction that will lead us to deliverance? The something that is happening right now, is that the way that is going to lead us out? Where we allow certain particular individual, a few individuals in a country and in certain states to be terrorizing other ones. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu with the IPOB. You see, I'm going to refer to this. I am not an IPOB member, but by reason of being an Igbo man, I am that name. I bear that name. Indigenous people of Republic of Biafra. Now, this man was gathering, had his members that's rallying around every time They never committed, they never even carried a gun or a weapon or molested anybody at any point. And yet, they term them to be terrorists. And they ban them. And they have been killing them since then. And our people, even these people that are terrorizing Lagos now, have been saying, yes, let them kill them, they are terrorists. Now, what they are doing in Lagos now, what is it? Can somebody tell me what is it called? Is it not terrorism? When are they going to ban Tinubu for being a terrorist? When are they going to ban Shongo Olu for being a terrorist? Because these are the people sending these thugs in order to remain in power. When are they going to ban them? Nnamdi is still in jail, even when the government of Nigeria have their own legal system, have several legal places have pronounced and said Nnamdi should be released. Yeah, they have no jurisdiction, they have nothing against him. He has not committed any sin against the land. Even international community have said they should release him. Now they still have him there. When are they going to ban? When are they going to arrest and prosecute Tinubu and Shongo Olu for the terrorism they are causing in Nigeria? They first of all went during EndSARS. They went and massacred Nigerians that are protesting, peaceful protests, singing national anthem. They went and killed them. They refused. Now they have not arrested them. Some of us come here and continue to laugh and make jazz and think we are going somewhere. Very soon now, Kulata will come here and be analyzing this election and say, yes, I told you guys, that Tinubu is going to win. He will be analyzing, and some of us will be clapping for him. Is it this election now that is going on that somebody that has his senses will come and analyzing that somebody won? That this is why they are good politicians. I told you people is going to win because he did his. Is this election that is going to be analyzed? Nigeria, which way are we going? I weep for this country. I weep. And many of us are in overseas. We see, like one of my brother here in Canada have just said how they conduct election in Canada. The same applies to US. Sometimes you wouldn't even know that there's election. If you even choose, sometimes you may even choose to vote from home. They will mail you everything. You just fill it out and send it. And your election, your ballot will be credited, will be counted. And you not even know that if you choose to go out, you can take, sometimes you take out from break on your lunch period, you go and cast your vote and go back to work. That is how things work. And we that are here, we see how these things work. But in our country, we continue to defend this evil. We continue to defend the APC. In fact, anybody that is supporting APC and defending APC, that person may heaven reject that person and the family, no matter where they are in this world. Because people are being killed right now. People are being wounded right now just because they want to go and vote. And people tell me that it's okay. Why? Where are we going? And some of us are abroad enjoying the good things of life. Look at our brothers and sisters suffering in Nigeria. Suffering under the brutality of these evil men. And we are here abroad supporting those evil people. Somebody say, I don't support Obi. Don't support Labour. If you don't support Labour, you are an evil man. You are an evil woman. I don't care. Even if you have right, that your right is killing people. You see, one thing is that you might have right to support whoever you right. But that your right is killing people. And as long as your right is killing people to support evil men in Nigeria that have been brutalizing and killing Nigerians, that right has to be resisted by every blood, every venom that is in the mind and in the heart of every good man in Nigeria. We are fighting for good Nigeria. When Nigeria is good, it's going to benefit everybody. But for you supporting this evil man because of your selfish, mundane interests, God, heaven will reject you and your family, wherever you and your family is all over the world. Heaven will reject you and peace will elude you. For what is happening in Nigeria now, that people line up and they cannot vote, crying. Look at videos flying around and people say it's okay. May God help us.
All right. Jude.
Wait, damages.
Nigeria.
Jude.
Okay.
Jude. I hope you are okay. I know we can be very, very,
Jude, after just go and drink water.
Take care of yourself, Jude.
Honestly, you need to look after yourself. Guys, can I just drop one question before someone can continue? I have a question.
Life? I mean, excuse me, what is life?
No,
what are we really living this life for? If we cannot live for our brothers and our sisters, if we cannot think of the next human being, I am not, even if I have the whole world and my neighbor is poor, I am still poor. What is life? It's because of selfishness that Nigeria is where it is today. Because of selfishness, we are too selfish. Anything that concerns us, that is all we talk about. Once it doesn't concern us, oh, I don't care. And that you think that is life? No. We will all soon die and get away. But what we do in this world will determine our legacy, will determine where we are going. I know some of us doesn't believe in heaven, but however, the thing we are living on this earth, the mark we are living on this earth, is going to haunt our children that we are going to live on this earth. It's going to haunt them in the world to come, and both in this world and in the world to come. How can we be having such a country where people cannot go and vote without being intimidated, without being killed, without being brutalized? A country where gangsters are ruling, where terrorists are giving red carpet reception, and good people that are fighting for the betterment of the whole country, they are being criminalized, they are being killed. And we say that it's a country, and we're saying, let us calm down. Somebody, let us calm down. Anybody that is supporting APC and PDP, may thunder fire them and their entire generation. I place curse upon them today. They will die, no matter where they are and their children. They will die. Thunder will fire them. All these people that have been dying, that are being killed in Nigeria, their blood will be upon them.
Amen.
All right.
Hold
Hold on.
Wait, Mama Echo is not here.
Oh, she's been here since morning with me. Since,
really?
3, yeah.
Wow. When did you start?
About 3 or so. Let me say
Mama
this.
Echo don't get partner. This wedding must happen. Dr. Rudolph, this wedding between Jude and Mama Echo must take place.
Let me say this. I'll be quiet. Let me say this. Jude, I know when people are really talking from the depth of their heart. It's, I feel you. I know that most of us have these feelings about what's going on in the country, and people will react differently. I always defend the right of everybody to react differently. Even people who say that they've had enough, that the solution is that the country should cease to exist. I defend the right to have that opinion. But at the same time, I think my right ends where your right begins, and your right ends where my own begins. That's my philosophy.
Dr. Rufus, I know that right. I know everybody have rights. I know. But when you are right, it's killing me. It's killing other people. It's sending many people to hell, to their early grave. It's pauperizing millions of Nigerians.
Go and drink
and
water.
they can't even feed. They can't even eat, have 1 square meal, eat one food, 1 meal a day. Well, then that you're right. It's making people not to actualize
you
their
develop health problem like this.
It's
You keep on going like this. Honestly,
and sending Nigeria,
we
millions
should
of
take leave.
Nigerians out of Nigeria. That right should be fought against.
Yeah, Jude, this is the thing. I'm not a doctor, so I will leave it to Dominic to talk like a professional. But this is what I know. For no matter how you will feel about the country, some of us, this is our therapy. When I come here and listen to people talk about Nigeria for hours, it's a form of therapy. I could react in a different way, and people react in different ways. But this is the challenge I always give to people. Whatever you believe in, it's your job. It's your job to convince other people to believe in your position. It's your job. That I don't believe in what you believe in. It's you that failed, not me. I believe in something. Someone convinced me. You convince people. If you can convince the majority of people in the country that this is not working, this is the path we are going to follow, it will happen. But it's not by cursing people. It's not by praying. It's not by saying that you will die, that the country will change. It's not going to change. When I see my HO, God punish your family, that's nothing. You won't do anything. If you can go to church and pray for the rest of your life, the country will remain the same. People have been praying. It's your job to sit down, map out things to do, goals, and convince people in a peaceful way. If you want to go and fight, that's also an option. But you do that. I wouldn't even debate that with you. Whatever happens to you, that's your own approach. But the point is this. The job is you have to put it back to us, back to you, whatever I believe in. I believe in getting people together and let's talk. And I'm trying my best here. That's what I'm doing. You sacrifice for what you believe in. Convince people. People are willing to listen. But if you are not projecting it in a way you can convince them, maybe your position is the majority position. But you have to calm down. Basically, write down, these are the steps I'm going to take. It's not you can't force people. You can't. Nobody can. That's why I'm saying your right ends where my right begins. You can say that my right will be resisted, but I don't know how you're going to do that. If I have the right to come into Nigeria because I have a Nigerian passport and you feel that I shouldn't come, I don't know how you are going to stop me. What I mean is practical sense. What can you do practically to convince people to come to your position? I understand. I feel you, and I feel a lot of people and how passionately they feel about what's going on. But also, we can use one incident to just jump. Tomorrow, let me tell you what will happen tomorrow or next tomorrow. There will be people who will be announced as winners. The lawsuit with the presidential election will be going on. One day they will say either Tinubu is the president or not, or things will keep going. People will be fighting for position. By next 3 months, we are talking about this minister is not, confirmation of these ministers are not going well. This minister is not doing their job well. Life continues. That's the way it is. But if you feel that this is not going well, your job is to say, okay, what am I going to do? How do I get majority of people to come to my side? You need it. You need it. Maybe this outburst is also part of it. Maybe people will come to you, but it has to be, something has to follow, something practical, but it must not stop the right of other people. That one I don't support.
Dr. Damages, I understand all of this, okay? I understand all of this. And the truth of the matter is, if Nigeria is good today, it's going to be good for everybody. I don't need to go and be kneeling down and continue to beg somebody. All this approach you have said, I have taken it I have done it several times, even from my secondary school, even right from my universities in Nigeria. Okay? We know, you see, Nigeria have not started being bad today. Even in secondary school, even in university, look at student unions in universities. Look at the way, the radicality, okay? The way people will collect money, the student union administration, they will use the money in enriching themselves and all the things, and then the gangsterism in the universities, the cults. Many of us, people like we have fought cultism in Nigeria, in University of Nigeria when I was there. I knew all I went through. I knew how one of the court members slapped me because I was, talking to them to leave their evil way. Then we were preaching the word of God, letting them know, trying to change their mind through the word of God. And I've received beating from them. We have done all of this. And it didn't want Nigeria is a place that no matter what you do in terms of pleading, it's not going to work.
So what's the solution?
The solution is that when a bullier, somebody is bullying you and continue to bully you and you continue to give the plead, to say, I beg now, stop now. The more you continue to ask him to stop, or the more you continue to run back, the more you are reinforcing his behavior, the more you are giving him strength to continue to bully you. What you do is to confront the bullier.
Hold on, let me hear his solution. What's the solution? Finish up.
The solution is to confront the bullier. These people bullying us, for Nigeria to wake up and say enough is enough. How many people would they kill? How many would they kill?
All right, Jude. If that is your approach,
we can start and continue to talk.
Jude.
Talk from here to Jericho. Nigeria will not change. This woman will not change. Imagine now, for instance, where platform like you or other platform or everybody that said they like Nigeria to move forward, begin to, because all these people that are doing all this evil thing to us, they have families abroad. And most of us know where their families are abroad. We are not saying to go and do anything to them. Bring out their names, where they live, their street address, and publish them on social media. That is
And what will happen?
That is one of the ways.
Jude, what will happen?
What
After
will
you
happen
go there?
is that
Yeah.
number one, these people will know. Oh, Nigerians know where their families are.
You think Nigerians don't know? Hold on. Jude, hold on. You think Nigerians don't know where they are? You think people here don't have
publish them on social media? Publish them. Many people don't know.
Hold on.
They themselves don't know that we know where their children, where their families are.
It's not true. It's not true, Jude. It's not true.
They don't know.
Friends. Dude, if you are not friends with them, I am friends with some of them. They know that we know who they are. Okay?
But their family, their parents committing this evil in Nigeria don't know that.
No, they know. There's nothing is hidden. There's nobody in America that you can't find their address and their phone number if you want to. Anybody.
Who does?
And then one of the ways again is making abroad, we that are abroad, to make it uncomfortable for them to run to. Because
how do you make it? Listen, Jude,
have you forgotten you're living in a place where the rule of law prevails?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting to. That's what
you're not living in another, barbaric, civilization.
Jude, you have to calm down. You have to relax.
I continue to say it. There are two ways. Revolution happens in two ways. It's either you're ready to bear arms, or you're ready to hit the ballot. And how I see it. No, it has to work. No. Jude, let us not get sentimental. Few minutes ago, Mazi Zoke was here. Was he not showing us something that was happening in Enugu? Just a few minutes ago. And something is happening in Enugu. And the election is going on peacefully. And you can hear them counting for Labour Party. It's not PDP. People are there actually counting their votes.
See what is happening in Lagos.
No, hold on, Jude. I'll speak to that. Now, there was a question I was going to ask on the platform, before Jude started. What's causing this tension right now in Lagos is a question of ethnicity. And why is it happening? Lagos is very much cosmopolitan. Few weeks ago, just about a week towards this election, when they looked at the fact that they are not going to make the numbers, what did they start? They started infuriating people with ethnicity. An Igbo person, you're about to vote Igbo, you're about to vote Chinedu. And this gentleman who is in Labour Party is thorough Lagosian, thorough Yoruba. Now, that made me question myself. I asked myself this. Let's take, for instance, it was Osibanjo who was championing this obedient movement that was, the figurehead, like the symbol, just the way Obi is. Do you think we'll be having this sort of problem in Lagos? Can anyone answer me?
There's definitely the won't.
Jude, not just you. I would like to hear someone else's opinion.
We can't make that extrapolation.
See, Dominic, Rudolph, what about you? What do you think?
Franklin, my simple answer. Let me answer you, Franklin. Franklin.
Go ahead, CM.
We cannot be having it. If Osibajo is the other way around, the question you ask, if Osibajo is places Obi as leader of obedient movement, we cannot be having it.
Exactly. All right, calm down. Now I'll counter you on that. It might not be 100% correct, but that would be my own submission. Who remembers when after 2019 election, when Show called for revolution, said he didn't accept that the election was not right? What happened to him after? Was he not later put behind bars for about 6 months? Good.
He was arrested.
The point I'm trying to make is this. Don't go about thinking it is all Yorubas that are stopping the non-indigenous from voting. When you go and take a very good account, it is just a minute number.
Nobody is saying it's all Yorubas. Nobody.
You get? No, hold on, CM. No, hold on, because Jude, because I know I heard when CM was talking and everything, because CM was of the submission that this is the reason he always thinks we should go for Biafra. Of course, everyone has their right, to say what they want, their submission is. But even whatever it is you're craving for, Biafra, whatever, different ethnic groups, you go to a different region and everything. My brother, so long as we do not have a government in place that is able to recognize and legalize referendum, what you're calling for is bloodshed. And if anybody is not prepared for bloodshed, we must strengthen our minds. We must strengthen our emotions. We must be more strategic in approaching the ballots.
Can I ask you a question, Franklin? One question. One question.
Go ahead, Sam.
If the Oba of Lagos in 2015 did not assemble in Igbo for humiliation, telling them who to vote, do you think Oluomo in 2023, 8 years later, we have the audacity to threaten in Igbo that Mama Chukwudi should not come out? Let's be honest. If whatever the father is doing, the son will learn. If the Oba of Lagos did not call Igbo out of over more than 100 ethnic groups living in Lagos to humiliate them, telling them they must vote for Ambode or else he will deal with them. If he did not have the temerity, the effrontery to do that, do you think 8 years later, Oluomo Etat will be threatening Igbo openly that you should not come out? Mama Chukwudi should not come out. Do you think what will happen in 2031, another 8 years? Is that what you call progress? Don't you know what is called dignity?
Hold on.
Do you know what is called dignity?
Do you know what is called dignity? Let me respond to that. Now, I think, this idea that, because there is even something that also happens in Lagos and like every other place. People forget that there are other minor ethnic groups in Nigeria. And it will seem as if only maybe the Igbos are being targeted. I can tell you at this point, there are a lot of adult people who are in Lagos. Do you think they are not affected by this?
The Oba of Lagos call Edo people in his palace to humiliate them.
Hold on. I'm not talking about... See, hold on.
No. You are setting a different question. Answer the one I asked you. Don't set your own. Did Oba of Lagos, there are more than 100 ethnic groups living in Lagos. Why didn't he call the Jaws? Why didn't he call the Chekiris, the Urobos, the thieves, the Kanuri, the Fulani? Why did he call the Edos? Tell me, when did the Oba of Lagos assemble the Edo and what to do in Lagos? Has it
I think it
happened? That is why Oluomo will call 8 years later. Not cooling down. I like addressing the honest. If you see the fact, you say it. I asked you a question. Tell me any other ethnic group. Simple. And you are setting another question.
Sometimes when I talk on this platform, people start I'm making it seem as if I'm not also an Igbo person. I'm an Igbo person through and thorough. But what we are looking for is solutions to our problem. First of all, what's making a lot of Igbo people to stay in Lagos?
I ask you that question.
Is because of the way Nigeria is at this point. Lack of restructuring, all the, the resources, everything. For us to still change that, it still has to be through the ballot. But we cannot change it when we are looking at ourselves alone, just ourselves alone as Igbo. There are other ethnic groups that are affected. Yes, Igbos are the highest, traders. But there are people from Edo who are also importers, who have been affected in Lagos. There are people from Benue, from Middle.
Why did the Oba assemble in Igbo? You are answering another thing. See,
I'm not going to focus myself on what the Oba.
That's what I want to say.
Can I say something?
That's the question now. It's a question I asked you.
Okay.
My brother, I was not failing grade. If I'm to mark your script.
Thank you.
I score you. The question is, why did it? If you don't know it, you say you don't know. You can say, I don't know why the Oba did it. As simple as that. And I don't know why Oluomo did it. It's a simple. You don't know. Not that you will leave the question and start to lecture me on Nigerian history.
From a political perspective, is because definitely he knows that the Igbos carry a huge number of votes that can change the position of the government. That is it. But I'm saying, if we keep on only looking at only maybe one individual,
is that a crime?
We need to look at it.
Is it a crime? It's because we condone evil. That's why evil happens.
I'm nobody here is condoning evil. Oh, what do you want me to tell you? That okay,
Because
the whole Igbos in Lagos should jump up and start revolting. Is that what you want me to say?
Oba of Lagos did it and get away with it. 8 years later, Oluoma will do his own. Don't you?
See,
Can't you see the correlation?
The reason why they are getting away with it is because there is no rule of law. And there is no way you're going to make that rule of law to come by us unless you want the revolution, which is by the arms. If not, we still have to start thinking strategically. And the best way to be strategic about it is we Igbos, we do not need to keep on singling our own ethnic region out from others. Others have to be carried along. It's not only Igbo man that is affected.
Franklin and
Can I
assuming the Oba did it for so many people.
Hold on.
I think we're starting to go around in circles.
Yeah.
I only have 3 minutes and then I'll head out. I just came to say hi and drop a few points and then head out. And I think Rock who is next after me.
All right. Thank you.
No, who? Yeah. Rock? No, not Rock.
Also, all on politics decided to change it.
No, Rock has
to change himself.
Yeah. No, I want to. No, hold on, guys. I want to hear from Dominic. Say what you want to say. Then Forefathers. I want to hear from people who have not said.
It seems like your first name is Chukwode. Is your name Mama Chukwode? Your internet is good today, so you're stressing us. Anyway, what I wanted to say is this. If you look critically at the issue of this whole Igbo thing, right? And I'm Igbo, just for those who do not know. This Igbo thing, the core of it is Tinubu and a set of people trying to hold power. And when someone is trying to hold power, they would always look for the best way possible. And so it is very convenient for them to say, oh, this section, we've noticed that this section of people tend to vote this way. Therefore, the way to make sure that we're able to get our numbers up and are able to hold on to power is to strategize on how to disenfranchise those people. And so if the best way to do it is to create a narrative of the Igbo is coming to take over, that is what they will do. So those people may not necessarily be ethnic bigots, but if this is the best way possible for them, they'll go for it. Just like someone like Trump. Sometimes some of the things he says, he may not believe in it. For example, he says, Trump used to be pro-life. He used to be, I'm trying to remember, I think he used to be pro-choice. If you go back in his history. And then once he joined the Republican Party, he's like, oh, this is what sells. And then he's like, all of a sudden, he's like, I'm pro-life. So you have those certain politicians who will go with just anything that will make them win. And so there's not necessarily, in my opinion, I don't think there's necessarily, when it comes to the political class, I'm not talking about the Obas and all those people and people who are real ethnic bigots. But in general, when it comes to control of power, and the elites who are trying to control power in Lagos, I think it's about what makes the most sense to them. And they see Igbos have big numbers, they tend to vote a certain way. And this election, LP had massive support, and Igbos probably will tend to vote for LP and probably for GRV. And so how do we disenfranchise them? Either sell the narrative of the Igbos taking over Lagos, or sell the narrative of pushing a Togre to use that to disenfranchise areas where Igbos are more. So I think this election, the thing that we have to keep in mind is don't let anyone intimidate you. Make sure you are safe. And at the end of the day, encourage people to go out and vote. But I will not encourage someone to insist on voting if their life is at risk. That is the point where I would say probably do not vote. But if you can, try your best to vote. That is what I'm going to say. I heard what you, CM and Franklin, said. At the end of the day, and also Jude, it's impossible to divest our emotions from how Nigeria is doing, because we have people here, we have families there. At the end of the day, some of us want to retire back to Nigeria. Why would I want to stay in Andaman's land where the kind of food I eat is not present? There are barely people that speak my language. There's always this sense of like, this is not home for me. And everyone wants to, I'm sure Dr. Damages wants to retire back to Nigeria too at some point. He wants to come to a place whereby if he has any issue, or God forbid, he has a heart attack, he can get an ambulance, be able to arrive at the hospital, get taken care of within 90 minutes. So we're trying to build a Nigeria for everyone. Okay? Jude, please go and drink water. Yeah?
Dominic, please. I'll just correct. I'll just say something. One thing that I do not agree with.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Is this point where we say, please, if you think it's dangerous, do not go and vote.
No. That's not what I said. That's what I said. I said See, I said I would only tell you not to vote when it comes to the point where your life is in danger.
See, this is it. See, let me now this is where we need to. This is the narrative we need to keep changing. Why? Because
Franklin, it's easy for you to say this because you're not there. If
see, my brother, I'm telling you, this will be the last election. You see me. This will be the last election in my life that I will not vote. You see this election, and the reason is because it's beyond me. This will be the last election that I will not vote in my life. I've said to myself, God, anything that makes me not to vote in Nigerian election going forward. In fact, my first duty from next year is to go and get a PVC. Sorry?
Are you in Nigeria?
No, I'm not in Nigeria at the moment. But this will be the only election that will ever come again in my lifetime that I will not vote. Even if I'm using a walking stick, I'm in my 90s, I must vote. And this is where I want us to start changing our mentality. This thing about fear, look, and and I can understand because I had the same argument this morning with my wife. Fortunately, she has more of her people in Lagos. Anyway, about 6 of her brothers.
I have to head out.
Okay, and we are talking about the elections, and she was like, when she saw certain things happening online, she was like, she started calling her family members. Oh, you people should go back. You should go back. I came and I stopped her. I said to her, please, what exactly is it you're doing? Okay, you're telling your own brothers to go back. Whose brothers do you want to go and stand in the line and make Nigeria work? Who? Because if we all, if it's all about self-preservation, and no one die, but we won't go that heaven. So this is what we need to start changing. Yes, everybody doesn't have a PVC, which was one of the things I said when the first submission I made here. Although everyone doesn't have a PVC, but it's not only those who have PVC that can save Nigeria. It requires the effort of those who have PVCs and those who do not have PVCs. And there are more number of people who do not have PVCs. Imagine if in a polling unit there are about 200 people who have PVCs. And there are also about 300 people there who do not have PVCs, and they are guarding the ones with PVCs, regardless of the party you're voting. Are you telling me how many armed people would they bring, or people with machete are they able to bring to disrupt it? My brother, where I don't know how they put it, but they say that resistance has to become a duty, where intimidation or suppression has become a norm. It is our duty. If we cannot fight, the only fight that I will ever encourage is fight of the ballot, and that is casting your vote and protecting it. Any other fight, myself, I'm not going to go for it.
All right.
Because Nigeria is not like in America where people bear arms.
Thank you, Frank.
The best form of revolution is the revolution of the ballot. Is now how do we strategically approach it?
Thank you. Forefathers.
Yeah, thanks. Greetings everyone on the panel, the chat, and the viewers. From my observation of the reports I'm hearing, even on TV channels, I think it appears that Nigerians, it's like we are designed not to obey the rule at all. Because there was a case, a police officer was standing right there while party officials were watching voters cast their vote, and they will show the party officials that they've casted the vote for them. And the police officer should be preventing such things from happening. That is a corrupted process. And this is not even a big deal. This is something that happens nationally. That is a problem, because it's supposed to be a secret ballot where people are not supposed to be able to be, because if it is a secret ballot, it's harder to bribe people or to trust them that they are going to cast the vote the way they are expected to cast the vote. But if the police officers there are not enforcing the separation between the voting in public and the party officials, it's a corrupted system. And
hold on. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Why the police officers are not doing it? Do you know?
I think maybe personally, for the life of me, I don't know. Maybe the Inspector General can answer that.
They
Why
have
is officers
also
not
been
doing their
bribed.
job?
They have
No, you don't
also
have to go
collected
far.
money.
No, the reason is when you listen to that interview we had, the conversation we had with Prince Adebayo, he said that all the political parties, they have a budget for people. They have budget for security people. So what it means is that before you see them there, they have been seen, quote unquote, seen by the parties. So which means that they are not there representing the state and doing the job of the state. They are doing the job of the people that paid them. So can you, when you do your analysis, can you move on to
That is a serious problem then, because that is it flaws this thing, puts problem in the election process too. I think that if that is the case, maybe INEC should be assigned the responsibility of securing the polling units. They have to be the payers of the security officials.
No, forefathers, even INEC cannot be trusted. See, we need to first of all that is what I'm saying. The changes we want in Nigeria, only the citizens can provide it. Only when we mandate it, make it a duty that everyone will be a policeman of their vote or the votes of their polling unit to the last call. Only then, because they cannot bribe the ordinary citizen. How many of us can they bribe? They can only bribe a few people, the people who are associated with the institution. We need to start, first of all, being the institution for ourselves before the institution will work.
I agree with you to an extent, because basically what you are calling for is a cultural change in the people themselves.
That is it.
But you have there, from what I can see, there has to be a mechanism to get to the point where at the actual point of the polling units, because either the police inspector general has to be accountable for this, because you have to instruct your men. If they have evidence of your men doing these things, then they have to be removed from the force.
See, forefathers, MC Olomo clearly threatened the whole ethnic region.
Exactly, that's another one.
He's not under arrest. No, see, when the thing is that I want us, when we start reasoning, we shouldn't be reasoning from a superficial layer. The problem is underneath. It's deep and underneath.
Can I also comment?
But that's what I was trying to get to. That's what I was trying to get to. Because
the policeman came and said that, MC Olomo is joking. Can you imagine such mediocrity?
Hold on now. That's what I'm trying to say now. This is why I said, when I was saying it, something that Nigerians, we are culpable in this. Nigerians are culpable in some of all these things that are going on. Like they go on selling even their Naira notes to fellow Nigerians. It tells you that there's something ingrained that we also have to expel. Because if you look at this thing now, the Oluomo case now, you would have thought that at least if the police officers are acting irresponsible, where are the religious leaders? Where are the traditional leaders? Why are they not calling out the people that are supposed to be moral voice of moral authority in the country? Why are they not coming out saying this man should be taken away because he's corrupting our country? Where are they not coming out? They're all quiet, hiding in wherever they're hiding now. Then when the election ends, they start telling their people they are predicting who is going to win and who is not going to win, and lying to people all over the place. At critical points, sometimes there are critical points you can make a change, and it makes this transformational change in terms of the country. If somebody held MC Oluomo accountable now, you will see that no one else would want to do something like that again in the future. If somebody holds that police officer or officers accountable for what they are doing at the polling unit, they are not going to repeat it again, and it's going to mean that our election is going to be a lot cleaner than it is right now. But
the president also did the same thing, though. The president casted his vote and showed it to the whole world that this is who he casted his vote for. So if the number one person in the country can do something like that, who is not to do it?
No, I get what you are saying. The problem with that the president is that he's immune. And next time he's not going to run for election again, so he's going to get away with it. So next time you don't vote for officials like that people that are going to do something like that. Let's say Tinubu or any other governor did something like that in their when they were governors. You don't want to go and vote them when they become presidents, because they are going to break the rules too. Rule breaking is a big problem in Nigeria, and we have to find a way to hold people accountable for it, because we have to think creatively, because they are out there. All these so-called leaders in our churches, in our mosque, where are they when all these things are happening? Where are they? Why are they not coming out to say these people, this man should be arrested, this man should be arrested? Where is this Inspector General of Police?
Thank you.
Why are we
Thank you.
not calling them out?
Thank you, Forefathers. Let's move on. Yeah, no. Or Abiola, hold on. Let me go to.
Sorry.
I'm
People like the Inspector General of Police, they should be in or somebody representing the police at a very high level should be on this in TV stations, briefing Nigerians on exactly what is going on, and if people are reporting back, they go back to that police station and say, this police officer, what do you think you are doing? They need to be able to hold people accountable. There has to be systems of accountability. This type of stuff where we just say just allow the stuff to keep going on. Nobody's going to do anything. After this election now, they'll just bury everything again. We have to find a way to get to the source of the problem, because it's almost as if everybody is in cahoots. The citizens, the police, all of them, they are all in cahoots, and we have to break the chain. You break the chain through the law enforcement, you break the chain through INEC, or you break the chain through societal, cultural change. And I think that Franklin has said a lot of things that is quite valid here today, and I think he's worth listening to most of the stuff he said. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Rob, you're next.
Okay, thank you, finally. So I'm going to try to hit on two things Franklin said, and also something that Jude said. Most of us here could see that we're very, very passionate about our country. I could see the passion, all of you. And I could also see that most of us are angry about the situation. It doesn't matter the tribe where you come from, all of us are angry about the situation in our country. We are looking for a possible way to start making our country better. But it looks like there are a few cabals, a few people that are just there doing things that favors them, doing things that, as long as it favors, they don't care if they're hurting other people and all of that. I really appreciate all of our passion and all of that. My question, or my answer, my response here is, while we are this passionate and we are this angry, let us start thinking about the solutions. What is the solution? What are the solutions that we are thinking about right now? And that's where Franklin's thoughts came in, and I was thinking in that direction too. Revolution.